right, Cody, let's go into the AFC West, the final AFC West. So who do you have?
So I'll go 1 to 4 as we've been doing. I have the Kansas City Chiefs at 14-3. Again, I did this about a month ago. Yes, I know. Well, remember,
even then, man, a month ago, that's still wow.
Well, okay. Here's the logic. They have a bunch of young receivers that are going to probably take a step forward with the experience in an Andy Reid offense with Travis Kelce. I figured that defense was going to be much improved.
Irony of the first game.
I didn't get a tattoo like Nick Wright did though on First Things First. I don't know if you saw that video, but anyways, I have the Chiefs at 14-3. I have the Chargers at 10-7 at number 2. Which by the way,
10-7?
10-7, excuse me.
Okay.
10-7. I do think though that the Chargers head coach is on the hot seat this year. I think that's a topic for another day, but Broncos, I have at number 3 at 7-10. And unfortunately, again, I did this about a month ago. This is, I think, even before training camp and spring training, before preseason. So I would probably adjust this if I could for both Broncos and the Raiders. I'd probably put the Broncos up to 8-9, but I'm going to keep them at 7-10. And the Raiders, I probably would have at like an 8-9 or 9-8 record, but I'm going to stick with them being 4th place at 7-10. I think the Raiders have, I think we're encouraged by their improvement on defense, according to Twitter, at least by all accounts. The secondary looks a lot better. We'll see how that pressure defense is. And we have a Chandler Jones situation, which, we'll probably talk about.
He's gone.
So he's probably off the team, God knows for what reason. So now we have just Max Crosby. So we'll see how this defense is going to answer the bell, so to speak. And this offense, we're going to see how they do with Jimmy G, calling the plays and throwing it to Devontae Adams. I think it's going to be. I think the team is going to look a little bit better just because it's second year in McDaniel's offense. But I don't know if they're quite of a playoff team or a wild card team quite yet. I want to taper expectations because I'm seeing a lot of excitement on Twitter, and I just want to be realistic about those expectations. I'm not trying to be so high on them to where our hearts are broken. Because I honestly, if we look at how they've done things in their roster, there may be a 500 team if we give them the benefit of the doubt on every game. I don't know if they're going to be a threat in the AFC West. I don't know if they're going to be a threat in the AFC, but so far right now, I just have them at a 7-10 record in 4th place in the West. It's unfortunate, but I mean, we'll see. You got a Jimmy Garoppolo who we don't know if he's going to remain healthy. We have some weapons that we got to wonder about. Hopefully Josh Jacobs comes back into form as he was last year, even though he missed the entire offseason. So we shall see.
All right. Well, here it goes. So I actually changed the Broncos when I originally did it. I just okay, I think they can win here, lose here, and then I count it up. I don't really look at the record until later. And I probably need to figure out a different way because I have teams that are way higher. Like the Broncos, I had them. I ended up with 11-6, and I was like, I don't believe that at all. Wow. So I changed it. No, I changed it. Okay. Don't worry. I don't believe that, and so I changed it. I still think I'm being kind of generous, but I do feel like they benefit a lot from a home, a lot of their home games that they get. So. Mm-hmm. And I pretty much have them losing most of their away games except for a couple. So, so I have the Kansas City Chiefs at 1 at 12-5. Okay. Again, I did have them beating Detroit. Of course, they didn't now, but it doesn't matter. I still will stick with 12-5. I think that's fair enough. Okay. Now I have the Los Angeles Chargers at 2 at 11-6. I have the Denver Broncos at 3 at 9-8. And then I have our Las Vegas Raiders at 4 with 6-11 record.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I want to almost ask you more about the Raiders, but we pretty much have talked about what their issues are, at least from our perspective and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I think that what's unfortunate too is this West division almost has taken a step back from last year's hype, at least what we all thought of that. And now it's almost like a subpar division. I don't want to say it's like the worst division in football, but outside there's just so much disparity between the Chiefs compared to the other three teams. I mean, the Chargers are even kind of a closer competitor than what the Broncos and Raiders are. And even with Sean Payton, I'm not sure if the Broncos offense can sustain not like having Jerry Jeudy as their number one receiver, you know?
Yeah.